How do you know if you have a rare $10 bill? In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to make sure you aren't missing any rare $10 bill worth potentially thousands of dollars. Welcome back to Old Money Prices. If this is your first time here and you want to learn more about rare coins and paper money, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. Let's jump right into the video. Up first, we have a 2006 $10 bill from the Federal Reserve of Philadelphia. So this one was graded by PMG, a 65 EPQ. That means there are no folds on this bill whatsoever. A quick thing to look out for on these bills is the serial number. You see this bill starts with a 0 and it ends with a 7, and they all consecutively run from 0 to 7. If you have any bill that's consecutively run like this, it could be worth a lot of money because this $10 bill sold for $1,440. So before we go into this next one, I want to explain how you can be finding these bills and how you can get them for $10 and sell them for thousands just like this. So essentially the first place you want to be looking through is old spare change. That's a pretty straightforward, easy one. But next, I would recommend if you could go to a bank and see if they have any old $10 bills, because this $10 bill that I have up on the screen now is from 1928, and it's also a star note, and you can see that it has a bunch of folds. It's a little stainy, a little dirty, and that is still okay because this $10 bill sold for $2,232, even in the very fine grade of 25 like this one. So if you come across this bill and it's a really high grade, there's no folds or very little folds, and it looks nice, it could be worth a lot more money than this. But the biggest thing here is 1, it is a star note, 2, it's from 1928, and 3, do you see that 11 number at the left there? That means it's from Dallas, Texas. And Dallas is a really hard district to come by for $10 bills. So keep an eye out for 1928s with a star from the Dallas district. Even if you have one of those 3 that I just mentioned, it could be worth a lot of money still. So this is a 1974 $10 specimen note. Pretty straightforward. If you ever see something like this on your bill, this red specimen, you could have something worth a lot of money, guys. Long story short, what does specimen mean? Specimen notes were printed to give out to banks all around the world so they could be able to determine what a real genuine $10 bill looked like. These are hard to find, and you would only find them in collections. They do pop up every now and then, but it is rare. This $10 bill is over $2,585. Alright, so this is exactly what I'm talking about going to a bank. So if you go to a bank and say, hey, I want to have $100 or $1,000, I know that's a lot, and they give you a crisp pack of notes just like this, you can go through them, see if there's any rare serial numbers, and give them right back to them and get your money back. So you're not losing any money doing this, and you're really looking for the special serial number. So this range goes from 601 to 700. So in between that is a 6, a 6, and another 6. So you have a solid 6 serial number in this pack of 100 notes. So the face value of this pack is $1,000. I know that's a lot, but you can do this on a much smaller scale. Even if you have $100 or $200, you could be getting these notes back. But this person, they paid $1,000 to get this pack, and they were able to sell this pack for $3,720 because it has these rare serial numbers in here. So this is another thing you want to be looking out for. Any 8s in your serial number, this is a lucky serial number in Asian culture. So any 8 you see there, people are going to pay a premium on these 8 serial numbers. Now, they don't have to be solid like this, but if you do have a solid serial number, it's going to increase the value even more. Say you had a big chunk of 8s in your serial number, that's still going to be worth a lot more than $10. I can pretty much guarantee that. You just got to find the right collector for it. But this one is graded by PMG, a 66 EPQ with the solid serial numbers, and this one sold for $3,960. Now, you're not going to believe how much this one sold for. So this one is a 2001 $10 bill with a serial number 1 star note, right? So you see the serial number 1, it's also a star note. That means it was a replacement note. And this one sold for $5,875 just because of that serial number. You can see the note is beat up. That means this note was in circulation. This crossed hands. People handled this note before someone said, hey, this is a rare serial number, this is going to be worth a lot more money. But just imagine if you found this at a bank, or if you were one of the first people to get this back from a cash register and it was in good condition, then you'd be able to get it graded and sell it for even more than this one that sold for nearly $6,000. Also, don't get scammed, guys, please. You want to make sure that you find someone trustworthy to sell your notes to. I offer a service. You can hit the join button, cancel at any time. You can send me photos of your coins or paper money. I'll tell you how much they're worth, what you should do with them. But if you don't want to do that, I would just find 3 people at least that can look at your collection and be like, hey, this is how much it's worth, this is what you should do with it. Because guys, imagine if you found this note and you went to a pawn shop and they said, hey, we'll give you $100 or $200 for it, and then later on you watch my video and you see, hey, this note actually sold for nearly $6,000. That's the last thing I want to happen to you guys. I want to make sure you're getting the full value for your coin or paper money collection. So let's jump into the next note here. So this is a 1928A Federal Reserve note from Minneapolis. This one graded by PMG and AU 54 55, that means there's a fold somewhere on the note. You know, it's not in perfect condition, but the fact that it's from Minneapolis and it's from 1928, which really made this note sell for a lot of money. Disregard that little alignment at the top right there. You can completely ignore that. That's not important. But this $10 bill sold for $8,400, and you don't know. Someone could have went to the bank and found this note when they were getting change back, and the clerk or the bank teller just had no idea what it was worth. But if you know what to look for in your $10 bills, you could turn $10 into hundreds or thousands of dollars, just like this person probably did. So this is cool. So another 1928 a $10 bill. This one is from San Francisco. You can tell by the 12 number at the left and also the L before the serial number. That means San Francisco. And guys, I mean, this one wasn't even graded that highly. Graded as a very fine 30. But the fact that it's from 1928, it's from San Francisco, it's a star note, those three things right there made this note sell for $10,575. Moving right along, we have a 1928 Federal Reserve Boston note with a star, and this one graded by PMG a 63, not EPQ. The big thing here is the fact that it graded so highly, and it's from Boston, 1928. This note sold for $14,950. All right, this looks like a more common banknote, you know, something we've all seen before. So this is a 2009 $10 bill. This is a serial number 1, which is really, really rare, and it graded as a 67. That's only 3 points away from the perfect grade. So if you ever find a serial number 1 or low serial number note like this, you want to get it authenticated and you want to sell it to the right people, because this $10 bill sold for $17,625. Again, pretty straightforward. So we have a 1934 note, $10 bill. It has a serial number 1. I'm not going to, bore you with details, but essentially this $10 bill, because the serial number 1 and how highly graded, it sold for $21,600. All right, guys. So this is the big one here. So 1928C, the C after the date there is the biggest thing on this note. 1928C is a really, really hard note to come by. This one was not graded, but it is uncirculated, meaning there's no folds on the bill, and you want to be looking out for the starred serial number there and the 1928C. Those are the big things there. You can tell that the centering is not that good. Look on the back of the bill. You see it's really off-centered. If this person went off and got this graded, the grading companies would look at the centering when grading an uncirculated bill. So even though the centering is not good on this bill, this note sold for $54,625. Hit that subscribe button. It really does help out with the YouTube algorithm. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you in the next video.